Hey guys, welcome to the Real Deal video blog. And so this week I want to talk about, let me start out with some recovery success stories. There are a lot of recovery success stories out there, including a bunch of celebrity ones. There are a lot of people who used to struggle with addiction and then totally turned their lives around. They went to treatment or meetings and got sober, and everything got better for them. Now they lead happy, healthy, and successful lives and have great relationships. Everything is awesome. Unfortunately, there are also a lot of people who weren't so successful. Sometimes some of these people just go in and out of recovery. They put some effort in and they get sober for a while, get it together, get a job, start doing well again, only to go back out just when it seems like they've got it. They relapse and they're back stuck in that same cycle over and over. Some people spend years stuck in this cycle. And then there are the ones, sadly, who don't make it. Their addiction takes their lives before they get the chance to find sobriety. And there are others still who end up with long jail sentences related to addiction. For some people, of course, a little bit of time in jail is exactly what they need at their wake-up call, and they get sober after that. But other people do things under the influence that result in some serious consequences for them, and unfortunately, it's at that point they're stuck in a cell for maybe years, and so. This is kind of a contrast here. The people who are really successful in recovery and turn their lives around and everything is great for them, and then the people who aren't so successful. And what is it that makes some people so successful while others seem to really stumble when it comes to getting over addiction? Well, there are certain things that you hear over and over that you should do in recovery. Some things that are almost sort of stereotypes. And believe it or not, these things that are just repeated endlessly, these stereotypes, the things that people are saying, it isn't just made up nonsense. A lot of times this is coming from experience. This is coming from tried and true methods that people have lived and gotten sober using these strategies to get sober and to stay sober for the long term. The first one, a really big one, is going to treatment. Not everyone gets to do this, sometimes for financial reasons, although there are plenty of state-run treatment centers that are willing to take people on scholarship. So not everyone, unfortunately, gets to do this, but it does give you a major leg up when it comes to recovery. Not only does it let you build up some sober time outside of that place you were using in, but it also helps you learn the tools you need to stay sober once you get back to the real world. And we all know the bad influence that people and places and things can have, and getting out of that using environment can be one of the keys to success early on. And like I said, not everyone gets to go to treatment, but there are still plenty of meetings out there, which is something that we'll get to in a bit. And then there's sober living, as something that at Real Deal we are quite familiar with. It can be really hard to stay sober if you go back to the environment that you were using or drinking in after treatment, or if you don't have to go to treatment to go to sober living. You can transition to sober living from wherever you were living before. Sober living is living in a house or building with other people who are in the same boat as you, doing the same thing, working through the process of early recovery, and these people are living in the real world with jobs or attending school, but also part of the supportive community with accountability and mentorship from an in-house manager, and it helps them to transition gently back to the real world while being surrounded by that positive community. And of course, there's the classic one, going to meetings. Everybody talks about this one all the time. Of course, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, that's the classic meeting, and all that stuff that goes with it. It's been around for decades, and its sponsorship is a core component, working through the 12 steps. It's where the 12 steps originated. And many, many people have found successful long-term recovery through doing these things. And of course, there are other similar groups if your needs are a little bit different. NA, CA, HA, the list goes on. These are all just different kinds of 12-step programs with a little bit different content, different people who attend, but overall the same structure, the same message. And for some people, the 12 steps it's just not a good fit. Maybe they don't like the spirituality aspect. Maybe they've had bad experiences with meetings in their local area. And there are other recovery groups like Smart Recovery, and that's totally secular. There's no spiritual aspect to it. There's Celebrate Recovery for people who want a specifically Christian-based approach to recovery. And there are many others that I'm not even naming right now. Basically, the point is that there are so many different meetings out there that if you haven't found one that you like, you probably aren't looking hard enough, and you probably just haven't gone to enough different ones yet. So yeah, meetings can be a huge part of successful recovery. There's also joining a community, which I believe is one of the most crucial factors to success. Chances are your drinking and using friends were bad influences on your life during the period of addiction. You probably experienced some things like loneliness, fear, and these were the people that you had to support you. And, obviously they didn't do a very good job at that. So through treatment, through sober living, through attending meetings, there are many opportunities to build new relationships. These are meaningful relationships with people who care. These are friends that you can hold on to for life. So basically, the things that you need to do to be successful in recovery are pretty simple. I've laid out some of them. There are many other factors that I haven't even gotten into, but it's all pretty obvious. It's all pretty straightforward. There's nothing that's rocket science. There's nothing that's hidden. There's no tricks to this thing, really. Success is just a matter of doing the right things on a continual basis. So the question is, are you willing to take the action required to be successful?